So,
We are at Suncoast Audio. We just did a little experiment. So what we're listening to today are the Karma DB9S's. These speakers retail for $37,500. Absolutely gorgeous sounding and finished speaker. 25 coats of paint in this black, piano black that they have here. The amp we're listening to is the Boulder 1160. I don't think Jay had the chance to listen to that. You know, he had the 2160, 2150s, but the 1160, it's a great amp, 300 watts a channel, retails for right around 32, I believe, after the price increase. We're listening to the matching Boulder 1110 preamp, and then we of course have the MSB Select 2 with the Pro USB. What we're using as our music streamer is the Takeo Audio Extreme, and we have installed the new USB card in here. But what I wanted to show for Jay, all we wanted to do, we set the volume at 29.5 here, and we played Rune, and I said, Jay, pick whatever songs you want to pick, and he picked 3 or 4 songs, and they said, all we're going to do is we're going to switch from Rune to Takeo Audio's software. It's in beta right now. It's called Taz, but it's in beta right now. And I said the point I wanted to show you is how important the software is, how much of an impact just the software makes. Why would it make an impact? Well, as much as I love Rune, it's beautiful, it's easy to use, it's got some great features. It is noisy. All of those graphics that you see, all those pretty graphics, all that data, very noisy. Also, Rune is built on a peer-to-peer platform. Remember Napster? So there's a lot of internet traffic going on. So when we switched over to Taz, the guys, the extreme guys, are building the extreme software. We switched over. Jay?
I mean, that to me was just... First of all, like the speakers just vanished. That's number one. It almost felt like the instruments were not even in here anymore. They went from here to be in position right here, and then from here to be in position right here. Okay, so what does that mean? 3-dimensionality, just layering of information. It's like one row after the other row after the other row. And I couldn't really believe that just the software changed, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not a software engineer or anything like that, but to me, I just don't understand or comprehend how software can really have an impact when in reality it's the same machine doing the same work with the same components, right? So
Absolutely.
I just couldn't believe what I heard. I played 3 different songs that I'm very familiar with that you guys have been listening to on my channel constantly, and it seems like someone came in and remastered everything. It almost feels like I went from a CD to a super audio CD, right? Just more organized. I felt like the presentation was a lot more organized. Things sounded right. Nothing got scrambled. There was not this congestion of instruments that sometimes you get where you think it sounds right because that's all we know.
Yeah.
As opposed to putting that in place with the software in place, and all of a sudden someone came in and just decoded everything correctly, right, and separated it correctly. And that's the biggest revelation I've heard. I couldn't believe it, Mike. I mean, that maybe it makes its way to my room, who knows? But for now, I mean, I'm just gonna say that, wow, if you are running that machine in your rig right now, you guys you have no idea what you have in your hands. I mean, that has been, to me, probably a bigger upgrade than having another amplifier replacement or something like that. I mean,
Agreed.
I would say that can turn just any amplifier into something completely different. I mean, there's, and I'm actually starting to realize now, Mike, that I have been an amplifier guy for a long time.
Yeah.
That's how I started this, and I'm starting to realize the importance of the source more and more and more and more. Going from DCS, now MSB, right? Trying to couple my own service, my own server pretty soon, and I'm starting to see that, it's not just what you put here,
Right.
but actually what's coming into this, right? And maybe I revisit that idea where, hey, what if I got more affordable amplifiers, but just a much more, and excuse my language, badass source?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
just souped up,
Yep.
and see what kind of results I get. And we're hearing with these speakers here that are amazing speakers in their own right.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm blown away by them. Super smooth, by the way. I'm going to talk about what I heard here. To me, being a 6-time Wilson Audio owner, right, in terms of speakers, this is, I think, it reminds me so much of Wilson Audio.
Yeah. Yeah.
This speaker.
Yeah.
This, you know, it's got that muscle that Wilson Audio is known for. It's got the bass that you guys love, the dynamics. The tweeter is super smooth, just
Very
beautiful, uniform. It never jumps at you. It never becomes shouty. It never becomes edgy. It never really calls attention to itself.
Yeah.
That's the best word. In my first time actually listening to the Karmas, aesthetically, I think this is. I mean, wow, it's just incredibly beautiful. Like everything about it. Actually, one of the things that stood out to me, the black gloss finish. I remember back in the day when I used to buy jayaudiolab subwoofers.
Right.
They're gloss finish.
Was
Pulling out of the box.
Yeah.
But I always found swirl marks, brand new.
Interesting. Okay.
I remember being completely obsessed with swirl marks, right? And then I found out because I used to blame people for dusting my cabinets the wrong way, and I used to blame people. What happened? Who used what cloth? I haven't even touched this subwoofer area. Swirl marks were there. This thing is just flawless, like to the point with the coatings, and you know, it's just immaculate. The cabinet, the way it looks, the chrome accents, everything about the speaker. It looks so elegant.
Yes.
Right. It reminds me a lot of the Italian brands in terms of, you know, Italian brands tend to be so fit and finish is just top notch.
Yeah.
Very impressed by this speaker. One of the things that I would say was the sound stage was just huge.
Massive.
Just, I mean, this room is way taller than mine, wider and deeper, and this just completely fills the room.
Yep.
You know, and mind you, just to be fair, we are using amazing electronics, of course, as you guys know, and you'll see in the next videos when I talk about the next room that we listen to. Every system is going to have a different tonality, right? Which is one of the things that Mike is doing here at Suncoast Audio. The point is to have different flavors for everyone. So when you hear my videos of the 3 presentations, remember, everything is going to sound different. And that's the point. We want it to sound different so that it appeals to different people, right? Because I know a lot of you guys listen to my videos right now with a Magical M6, and you're trying to scramble, trying to get that speaker to sound like a Wilson. It's never going to sound like a Wilson Audio speaker. It's not made to sound like a Wilson Audio speaker, right? Same thing here. This is made to sound a certain way. We're going to hear the other speakers in the next room. We're going to hear some fine audios as well. Totally different technologies, and they're not going to sound alike. And you guys are the ones who have to decide what you really like. So as I said to you, I'm very open-minded. I'm here to explore different sounds, different presentations, and see what this man right here, you know, can do for me. Because I brought him over to listen to my M6s with the 60.8s, and he couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So he's brought me here to listen to different presentations for me to actually have an open mind and just, hey, let me talk to you. Let me show you something that you haven't heard in a while, never heard before actually. And I'm impressed what he's accomplished here with this Karma and the rest of the speakers. So
now, guys, speaking of sources, I am still working hard on Jade. He needs one of these. Do we not agree that he needs this beautiful turntable? He needs a turntable, right? We have the Pass Phono stage. We've got the Kuzma turntable. We have the My Sonic Labs cartridge. So before he leaves, I'm going to make him listen to some, you know, real music on God's source here, the turntable. Now, I know there's a lot of guys out there that are hardcore digital. I totally get it. But just in fun, I will get him to listen to the turntable before he leaves, because I know we have a lot of vinyl fans out there for sure. So
I'm not opposed to it. I am not opposed to it by any means. You know, but after hearing that Takeo Extreme,
yeah, this is pretty damn good.
That just makes it harder for me to go this route. Just so you know, this just made that conversation that much more difficult for me.
I agree.
Because hearing this,
I agree.
To me, again, I know a lot of you guys have asked me vinyl, try vinyl. And I am just pretty stubborn right now, I guess you could say. But when I begin to explore this
Yeah.
type of stuff, how
Yeah.
can you? I mean, and I understand vinyl has, its place, and a lot of you guys love vinyl more than digital, and I respect that. But I have been so deep into digital now that it's very difficult for me to begin to open up to vinyl. But I did say that I need to keep an open mind, to be
Yeah.
fair. So you never know if I might end
Yeah.
up doing vinyl at some point. I'm not opposed to it. But sometimes you guys ask me all the time to change content, and I got to keep you guys entertained, right? All the time. So it's easier to keep you entertained with digital because I can change components on the fly.
That's true.
Right? And
Yeah.
songs and different content quickly. Vinyl, I have to go out there, order, buy, figure out what new music I can put on the channel, which is what I'm working on right now as well. Find different music so we can continue to do this. But you never know. I mean, there might be
Yeah.
a conversation down the road, Mike. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so be on the lookout for more videos. I'm going to be talking about the next two systems I heard here with Mike and give you my impressions on the next two speakers and see maybe which one I preferred overall. Okay, so that's all I got for now, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Suncoast again.
Thanks for
Thank you,
coming.
everyone. And I appreciate the time here that you guys give me to listen
Yeah.
to my madness.
Thank you.
Take care.